Cordy, and I wanted to say Happy New Year, and it's all about goals and making resolutions. And so this year I resolved to make this pocket of YouTube as irrelevant as possible, and to bring you lessons that are so niche that probably there might even only be one person that gets anything out of them. And that's really how I'm going to hope to take this channel to the next level. That and expose videos on random people, obviously. I was asked if I could look at the Mike Landau kind of tones and stuff, so I've been listening to Tales from the Bulge, and specifically I'm Buzzed, and reading up on his rig and try and share with you where I'm at with it and what I found is consistent over the time. But like many of us, he's changed things over the years, and that album was 30 years ago, so yeah, take it with a pinch of salt. But this is what you would have heard in the intro and what you'll hear throughout the video, and I'll just talk you through some of the choices that I made. First thing to say is that his clean tone to me sounds vaguely kind of similar, in that ballpark of like Eric Johnson and stuff, where it's actually pretty clean, and I think he's using kind of the bridge pickup and that sort of stuff. So things that remain consistent throughout his rig: the Maxon SD9, which we do actually have in the HX Stomp or the Helix, which is the Hedgehog D9. So I've been using that. I think he has the tone rolled off quite a long way, so I've got it at 1.4. The gain, I think it varies over time and stuff, but I've put it at 7.8, and the level I've put at 7.9. Again, I think that varies, and like most of us, depending on what amp you're going into or whatever, I think he would have used different settings, so I've just experimented with that. The other thing that was fairly consistent with this rig was the Arion stereo chorus, which we also have a model of in the Helix HX Stomp. It's called the Plastic Chorus. For me, I've set the rate at 4.5, the depth at 1.6, in chorus mode with the tone at 4.5 and mix at 50%, but I've got that on a parallel path. Now, I don't know exactly what settings he used on that, and I don't know that chorus is a huge part of his tone necessarily, but there's certainly times when he uses it, and so I thought it was worth chucking that on the parallel path, and for instance on some of the driven tones. guess we could talk about the amps that he uses. I found an interview where he talks about using a Sir Bella, Sir Badger 35 and a Princeton reverb from 1964. So with all of those, I decided that the Princeton was probably the way that I wanted to go for my presets, and I've also used a deluxe reverb for one of them. I think he uses his own version of a Hot Rod DeVille as well sometimes, and a Dumble. So those are kind of things you might want to check out. He also says that what he finds more important is the speaker and cabinet choice, and he talks about having a Marshall straight 4x12 with greenbacks in it. So that's the cabinet that I've decided to use, the 4x12 greenback 25. More recently, I think he uses 65, is it Celestion 65, G12 65, whatever they're called. I think there's a matchless cab with those in the HX Stompers, the Helix as well. So maybe it's worth checking those out if you wanted to check out some more of his modern kind of tones. He talks about using a 57 dynamic microphone and sometimes a Royer R121, I think. Experiment with those two mics is what I've done. I went for the dynamic mic in the end. For the clean tone, I'm also kicking on a 5K 2 decibel boost in an EQ at the end of the chain, because he talks about sometimes doing that in the studio. Okay, and then the last things to talk about, I guess, is delays. And I think he uses a Strymon timeline now, and I think he uses the digital setting on that. So I thought, well, what's close to that? Probably the TC Electronic Vintage Digital emulation. So I've also put that on a parallel path. I've put it at fairly high quality. The sample rate I've got is 16K. Mix I've got at 30, but it's on a parallel path. Rate and depth 2.3, depth 3.3, scale at 100%. You could also experiment with having it in sort of ping pong kind of setup, but for me I found that a little bit busy. So yeah, those are kind of the settings that I've found worked for me. I've done another preset as well. I've done a preset with the deluxe reverb as well, just to get maybe a tad closer to the Sir Bella thing, but I don't think there's anything exactly replicating a Sir Bella, which is I think based on Scott Henderson's Dumble modded Fender Bandmaster or something like that. So that's kind of what I found looking online and stuff. Let me know in the comments if there's cab choices that you'd make to get even closer. I think I might experiment with kind of mixing up cab mics, but specifically in an interview Landau said that he doesn't do that. He tends to only use one mic on a cab at a time to avoid phasing issues. If you want to get those presets, I'll drop them into the folder if you do want to try them. They're called JC Landau and JC Landau 2 or something like that. But yeah, snapshot, clean, and then like a dirty rhythm, and then lead is snapshot 2. So yeah, the bridge pickup I think is key to quite a bit of what he's doing. But hopefully that was vaguely interesting, and you could like and subscribe if you do like this kind of video about trying to replicate someone else's rigs and tones in the Helix world. Mike Landau, to be honest, his tone is pretty immaculate, so it's very hard to get anywhere near that, and his touch is incredible as well. But this is my attempt. Thank you for stopping by. Cheers.